Gonna change the world
With my hockey stick.
Gonna make
A real difference.
Feed the poor
And heels.
Oh, baby. Chippy, I just wanted to bring this magnificent trophy that we all won together.
Together. I think I led the team in points. Yeah.
Just one more time. By the way, for the people listening, it is a very large silver cup that says North American Cup Competitive Division Champions.
Competitive. Let's remember the competitive division.
And I am wearing the Puck Daddy jersey here, and I just wanted to bring it because I thought of it the other day. I said to Hayden up here in the office, I said, "Hey, did you know that we are undefeated? The Puck Daddies are undefeated. We don't lose."
We don't lose.
And
Don't we?
Hayden said, "Yeah, in the regular season, in our men's league." I was like, "No, at all, ever. We have not lost a single game while wearing these jerseys." I mean, this is a sign of a winner.
That's a fact.
The
That's a fact.
This logo right here, and in fact, it is all encompassing. It is a hockey puck with a crown on top.
Exactly.
The Kings
of hockey.
Kings of hockey.
Hockey pucks.
King of the puck, king of the rink,
King of the rink.
for sure.
I think that's what's going on.
Since we've put these jerseys on, we undefeated in the North American Cup Championship competitive division.
Facts. It's a fact, sure.
We bring those jerseys over to the
Summer League.
most prestigious summer league in possibly Canada.
SHL, really a summer hockey league.
Yep, and we haven't lost a game yet.
Lighting it up. Just lighting it up in that league.
We've played the worst teams and the best teams. I think now we are the best team. We're the one to beat. So, I mean, that would be pretty crazy if we went
I
undefeated.
don't think we're going to lose the game. Have we played all the teams?
It looks like we're not going to. Yeah, we have played them all.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we're going to.
We could probably beat the Leafs roster next year.
You know what?
I agree. Well, we could always do
Can we set that up? Is there a way? Like, I'm sure the Leafs would love
An exhibition match against the Leafs.
Yeah, like I'm training. I'm training to play in the show by 30.
Hayden, why does
Latest show bloomer ever.
Why does it look like on our camera that the garage is sinking? Like this sign. Is the sign like crooked or?
It's the GoPro. Not the GoPro. The live stream camera.
Oh, okay. Never mind. That's
the
what
guy's always getting
messed up.
by this
Hayden's the
screen.
tech guy. Anyways, if you want to be a champ, you want to be, you want to wear the signs of a winner. Check out the Puck Daddy merch. You got to pick up.
Yeah.
You can rock a T-shirt.
Get a hat.
And I just got to say, our pod as well. We're crushing. Like the pods are crushing on Instagram, on TikTok, on YouTube. Like I'd say it's we got a pretty good thing going on here, boys.
Thanks for everyone who's been following us from the beginning.
Absolutely appreciate
Yeah, we
everyone's
appreciate
support. Everyone who's got the merch so far. Everyone who tunes into every episode. People who tune into the live streams here. Oh, and Clutch David in the live stream, he's saying, all I see is 3 salty Leafs fans. We haven't even talked about Leafs. Who says we're salty?
Fully detached.
I fully
Fully
accepted.
detached.
I didn't even expect us to get out of the first round. I was like, oh,
I was just
wonderful. We've won 2 more
fully
games.
detached the whole time. No emotions ever.
You don't see salt. That's the way the game goes. It's the way of the road, boys. It's how she goes. You know, sometimes a team could have gone all the way to the finals, or they get bumped in the first round. You know, years back when Leafs played Boston, right?
Yeah.
Boston was basically mathematically eliminated in the first round. The Leafs had them 4-1 lead, right? 10 minutes left. It was nearly impossible for Boston to come back from that. They could have been eliminated right then and there and never heard or talked about again. That team would have just, they're a bust. What a terrible team. Let's dismantle them. We need to fire this person and trade this person, right? That's the Boston team. That's what would have happened. They made some sort of miraculous comeback because of the Leafs meltdown. Dion Phaneuf pinches, right? Gives up a 2-on-1 and what? It just
Russell scored that goal.
it's
too.
a comical series of errors that happened to allow the Bruins to advance to the second round. They went right on to the Stanley Cup Finals. So this is the difference between a team being eliminated in the first. That same team that got bumped in the first could have gone on to compete for the Stanley Cup.
I like your.
You know what I'm saying?
I like your perspective here.
Hockey is just so dynamic, and it's not like basketball where just because you got bumped in the first round, you're a bad team.
Progression isn't linear in NHL.
Then you get a team like Seattle who has no stars at all. And I mean, they just got bumped out by Dallas, but like you don't need all these star players to make it deep. And you play it back 5 times, you get 5 different results. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I would bet if you just replayed the Stanley Cup Finals with the exact same teams, you'd probably have like 3 or 4 different champions each time.
Oh, 100%. Yeah,
know what I mean?
hockey. Well, game of bounces. I mean, we had a couple games against Carolina where we had to hit 5 posts. If we won those went in. It's a different game, different series, different outcome.
We've had a bunch of series decided game 7, 1-goal game or overtime, right? It's overtime. Who's going home?
Yeah,
and it all it takes is a bounce, and that one bounce goes one way, and Florida's going on. If not, Toronto's going on.
Yeah.
Well, maybe not. Maybe not Toronto.
Toronto needs a bit more than one bounce.
That was game 5. We need a whole bunch of bounces.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Leafs fans talking about the refs and making excuses. I'm not. Well, I mean
All right, let's talk about it.
Let's talk about. Yeah,
We're
let's
gonna
talk about.
We're gonna talk about it because it was atrocious. It was the worst reffing I've ever seen in the history of the game.
Oh my gosh! Yeah, let's talk about the refs.
And does that parlay with the parlays? If you get my on double entendre there.
You think there's some gambling
I've never
company
seen
pressure
I've never
going
seen
on
it
here?
worse. I've never seen the reffing worse. I've never seen the refs make differences, non-calls. I've never noticed.
Chippy, this is a hot take.
I'm throwing it out there. Could
This
be.
is a hot take.
You're not fooling me, NHL. You're not fooling me.
Where
You're
is
not fooling me.
where is gambling the most prolific? Up here in Canada, no.
The 17 commercials per freaking game on every game in Canada.
We've just made the connection here.
Oh, yeah.
We're uncovering something.
Yeah, Gary, nice try, buddy.
You see, in Canada, we got like 30 million people. We don't gamble that much. We're too busy, like doing Canadian things, cutting down trees and tapping our maple syrup trees and But in in the States, they love gambling, especially in the southern states. Where are all the teams that are left in the Stanley Cup Finals? Where are they all located? Below the Sun Belt.
Come on.
There is not a single team north. It's Dallas, it's Florida, it's Vegas, and it's the Hurricanes, all in the southern
Come
states.
on. Oh,
But if they really
insane.
wanted to drive like more dollars to the NHL, it comes from like the TV. They're not getting direct money from the gambling companies. They're getting
Oh, yeah, they
sponsorship money from.
are.
They want to drive
Well,
that.
they're not.
those
They're
gambling
I'm just saying,
dollars.
they're not in on every bet. The NHL isn't. They get a deal with each gambling industry, and then
Fair.
they get the money from the advertising dollars based on the TV views, which is a lot less for all those teams.
Why do you think Vegas is still? Why do you think Vegas put out Edmonton? Where's all the gambling? Where's the mecca of gambling?
Vegas put out Edmonton because they played like infinitely better 5-on-5.
No, it's because of the
that
heavy pressure.
4-minute missed high stick call with 6 minutes left.
Mhm.
That's what guaranteed 3 goals by Draisaitl and McDavid. Game 7 win.
I think there's a bit of I think that you're onto something in that.
Oh,
Yeah,
I know. Me and Chippy are on to
Oh,
something.
I know I'm onto something. No one's fooling me.
Hey, if
No
Chip-
one and no one's
if
fooling
Chippy
me.
and I don't show up to the next pod, you guys know what happened.
Yeah, exactly.
Because there's big money. There's billions involved here. How much do you think Pietrangelo got paid to chop Draisaitl's hand off, eh? I bet he got slipped like a couple mil in a brown paper bag just left on his front door.
Let's slay the best player in the world. Wrist off his hand.
Exactly. He doesn't do that
Let's slay.
just by accident.
I wasn't agreeing with you guys, just to be clear. I was saying
Hayden
'cause you're-
agrees.
No,
Yeah,
Hayden agrees.
I was saying that there's something to when the league is deciding on suspensions.
Mhm.
That
Only one game for Draisaitl for trying to dismember one of the leading goal scorer. Only one game.
Yeah.
Who do you think
Absolutely
paid for that?
insane.
It would have been 3, except for MGM Grand said, "Hey, only make it one game, all right?"
Pietrangelo in the lineup for a Vegas win.
I'm just saying they know that Canadian fans are going to watch either way.
Yeah.
So they're not held as accountable to the Canadian teams because like Canadian fans care about hockey more than US fans, whereas in the US they have to prove that hockey is worthy of playing, and if all of their players, the US team players, get kicked out or they don't win or all this stuff, then it's not as much of a product for the US, and they're trying to get into that market. So they're ignoring the
So
Canadian
they're not fooling
fans.
anybody with what they're doing, is what we're saying. That's all we're saying. They're not fooling anybody.
I don't think anything's rigged or anything is.
Oh, my
anything
goodness.
is
when
below
you
the
have
belt.
that kind of much money being thrown on games, if you don't think it's
There's pressure.
yeah, you're kidding me right now.
There's a little
There's
pressure.
no chance there's not.
Ever since this gambling stuff took over, I
It's-
think
I've
it's
never seen the reffing be this atrocious.
All right, we'll talk about which one do you want to talk about first on the Leafs? The no goal, Riley,
Oh, forgot. Yeah, we're on this.
Morgan Riley no goal.
Let's
a
not
goal.
let's not dwell on it too long
That's a goal.
because I can't relive this. But
It's a goal. I
Hayden's
mean,
having heart palpitations. Here,
you want to my take, or you wanted to give your take?
you go first. Yeah.
Okay, my take is really simple. It was very clearly across the line, but it was also very clearly not proven, and the ref couldn't call it in because he couldn't see it, and you can't overturn it without being able to see it on camera. That being said, there's something to be said about using common sense on like the footage that you see. It's
That's
like,
the problem is you can't use common sense because every hockey player that was watching, anyone who ever played the game, looked at that and said, that's in the net.
yeah.
And it took them 0.1 seconds to know, yep, that went in. You see the motion of the pad, you see where the puck was, you see where the pad went, you know it was in. But without a video showing a whole entire puck completely crossing that goal line, then it's not. So every hockey player says, yep, we know that's in. But by the letter of whatever, the NHL is using, you can't determine it that way, which is unfortunate.
well, what about these rules that you can't argue with the refs at all anymore? Like the puck was deemed dead before the whistle blew.
Oh.
What kind of rule or what happened to the continuation rule where even if the whistle blows, it's a continue? So
Fair.
they said that the puck was dead before it went in the net. But what happened to the continuation thing that
They've
they
got contradictory
Wasn't
rules
that
here.
Was
there, well, the shot wasn't in continuation. The puck was just sitting under his pad. It's not really.
because it would have slid
As he was sliding
into
it
the net.
across
There's
the
no
goal
reason
line,
for
right?
the ref to blow the whistle anyway. So even if the whistle did go, it could have just continuation into the net. But they did the puck deemed dead before the whistle blew.
Yeah.
What rules are these we're making up now?
Well, it looked to me like the puck was under the pad, the ref was blowing the whistle, and who was in net? Bobrovsky was in the process of like, okay, play's dead, I'm going to stand up now, and then that's when you see the puck as it goes in the net. So clearly there was nothing showing that it was a goal in the like in play, like where it was.
There was
the
that
puck
one
was
angle.
alive.
There was one angle from the front though.
There was
Yeah.
one when it's
I
like,
saw that one, yeah, but they didn't show that on the broadcast, really.
I know, because they can't are allowed to.
I think that's the one that Dubas saw, and he's up in his little box, and he's like, that's a goal, that's in. Like, look, and he's pointing to the screen, and he's just losing it.
Yeah.
He's like, that's in, but I don't know. Maybe they didn't show it, or maybe it's just because from this one angle, you had to really zoom in, and like the contrast, you can't tell. Like maybe a millimeter of the puck is still on the red line, and there's like, no, they're on the goal line,
Right.
Who knows? But it didn't go in according to the letter of the law. And then in OT, what about OT? Where Gudis just grabs Yarncrook's stick. He's like, hey, are you going to...
Oh, not that. Not even that. How about the we have to come to... No one saw Brody bat that puck out, and they didn't call a penalty on that originally in overtime. And then all of a sudden they
Well,
conglomerate.
the Florida bench saw it. They were all jumping around.
But that doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. They didn't see it. They didn't call it. You don't call that. That's a missed call. Yet you don't call a penalty there. Like you cannot call that a penalty when you guys don't see it. You could easily just gone, okay, we didn't see it. Like we're not going to call a penalty here.
Fair.
But they got together. No one called it originally.
Yeah.
But it's overtime in a game friggin' 6.
Yeah, what is the rule on that? I think they're allowed to review it if they make the call. So then they huddled, pretended not to look up at the Jumbotron, and then made the call so that they could review it and see who it actually hit, and then actually got it right. But like
They didn't review it.
Yeah.
no, they did.
No, they didn't.
Well, like they were
Conglomerated. They're not allowed to review that. You're not allowed to review that.
over the glass.
You can't review it. No.
Can't review over glass. What's your feeling on the over the glass call? Do you think it should stay or do you think it should go?
I'm thinking it was a garbage call that they didn't.
I think
make.
it's.
But
I
it's like-
think the rule to begin with was just to stop guys from like
Oh, yeah.
launching the puck up at the
On
glass
purpose.
and not caring if it went over or not.
But like every time it goes over, it has never. It's like since that rule is implemented, it has never gone over the glass on purpose. It's always an accident. Someone always accidentally puts it over. Like that Brody one, right?
That
Like
Brody one. I would say that's a deflection. How does that even count as it was batted out? Like it wasn't like it was a
clean
shot it over the glass. If
That's what
it's
I'm
like a
saying.
deflection, in my opinion, that's just like, oh, it
I
deflected.
mean, it did go clean over, but you also couldn't even see it go over the glass. You just assume it did.
But low key,
Yeah.
but
It was
low
right
key,
at the player
the
bench.
stick was just there, and it could have just been like
Yeah. So if it's like a complete
you batted it out
accident,
of the air. Like,
Yeah.
it's a deflection, in my opinion. That's not even a penalty. To
there.
be honest.
So should there be an amendment to that where it's like, okay, if it like deflects off someone's stick or
batted it
it's
out of
like-
the air. Like you can't like. It's like
there was a Bunting one. I think Bunting just clearly sent it right out. Like he goes to shoot off the glass, but the puck like flipped up on his stick and he sent it like 30
yeah,
feet
like
over.
you
It's
do
like,
that. Sure.
okay, well, yeah, it was an accident, but you're not allowed to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think they should? They're going to revise that rule at all? Or just leave it in there? It's like a free penalty.
They're just gonna leave it in
They're
there.
not
leave
going
it
to
there.
change it, I don't think.
I see in the chat here. Who was it? Mini Stick Kid says, "I loved the Draisaitl burger flipper video Coach Chippy did."
Oh,
What are the
that's
beauties?
so-
Ta-
I thought that was hilarious.
Talk
myself.
talk about the TikTok there. What did you do?
Yeah, so I was watching the game and I'm just like looking at Draisaitl's blade, and I was like, this guy has a canoe paddle of a blade.
It is massive. Max
How is
height,
this thing legal?
max
Like,
length.
so I'm like, oh, like if Edmonton loses, like I could do a funny Draisaitl video of him like putting the burger flipper away. So
Yeah.
there's gonna be some more memes from.
Oh, there you go. So you made the blade like 30s.
Yeah,
It's
so
like
so,
a
so I got some paper from the printer.
Yeah.
Cut out a little like canoe paddle blade,
That's awesome.
stapled it together to make it longer,
Yep.
and then taped it onto the stick.
Made a hilariously oversized blade, and it's like
Yeah.
Draisaitl putting his stick away. But I saw Pro Stock Hockey. They had a Draisaitl stick, a Pro Stock. So I've
Oh my
got it.
God.
Look at the length of that.
That's a.
That's Draisaitl's
No
blade right
way.
there.
Do you have a regular one?
It's why. Oh no, I didn't grab the regular one, but it is basically
I'll
a
grab it.
regular blade is like a couple inches shorter. Anyone listening, it's just a ridiculously long blade. And if you want to,
yeah, I
if you want to hop on the YouTube later, you can see how long it actually is compared to a regular one. Is this Chara's stick? Yeah. And Chara probably already has like a pretty long one. But anyways, we're gonna play. We're gonna go play. Gotta get the right angle here. There you go. He's got a little extra blade there to work with. So I'm gonna give Draisaitl's stick to Hayden because he's a lefty, and get him to play a game with it and see if he can score using Draisaitl's blade. But yeah, it's just absolutely ridiculous burger flipper he's got there.
I call being in Draisaitl's canoe.
Oh, we also did a video last week where I brought Chara's stick out, and Chara's stick is ridiculously long. And I said, if any of the boys can score a goal with Chara's stick, we'll do $100 on the money board. So we're doing money board at our men's league games.
Give me a right.
Maybe that's the secret to our winning.
Is the money board?
Yeah.
All right.
It's like motivating the guys to try hard.
I'll explain it quickly on the pod. Basically, we'll call out like a few things that you have to do. So like, okay, maybe the first goal, we're gonna drop $40 on the money board, and whoever scores the whoever scores the first goal gets $40. For Draisaitl stick, I said anyone scores Chara's. Anyone grabs Chara's stick and scores a goal with it, $100. Right, and then like a shutout. Okay, goalie gets a shutout, $100. Basically, I'm taking all their league fees that they paid to me, and I'm just trying to give it all back to them.
Yeah.
Right, instead of buying beer with it, for like we bring the BioSteel instead, and I put money on the money board. But what we're doing is whoever wins, they win the money, but it goes into the team kitty.
Mm-hmm.
Right, and at the end of the year, we'll use all that money for a team party. Maybe donate a little to like really a minor hockey or something like that.
Maybe a parking lot barbecue
Oh yeah.
or
So
a golf
Yeah, I like
tournament.
let's do a little party.
little party. Hey, we're gonna go to like the Veta Spa. We're gonna relax out there. Anyways, so that's what we've been doing. So I'll bring Draisaitl's twig and see if he can score one with you. Oh, and the funniest thing. So Tom, the defenseman on our team, he grabs the stick and it's like 1.5 feet longer than him, and he says, "Tay, if I score a goal with this, all 5 of us are gonna ride it." You know, the old ride the stick
yeah.
celebration.
It's almost long enough to do that.
Almost long enough for the entire team to hop on.
He snapped a nice one up the middle to me with that Chara stick. He was
Yeah.
coming out the blue line. I was curling.
My dad's 6'4", and I feel like he should use a stick. That
He
size
could.
already. Yeah.
How hilarious would it be though? Not only one guy riding the twig, but like the whole team hops on it. It's
The
like a
train.
choo-choo train.
Yeah.
Oh my, that'd be the most insulting team selling
Oh,
Right by the other team's bench.
last,
in men's. Yeah.
last game in men's league. So I guess there was a lacrosse tournament at this rink.
Oh,
So there was like a lot of people at the rink. I go in,
kiddos.
buzzing. I kind of had the hoodie up a little bit, like I got to get to the game, get my gear on. I get stopped a little bit, quite a few pitchers. So now I'm going out. We're going out. We got kind of a crowd building up on the side of the boards.
I'm trying to do warm ups, and these kids are like, "Can I get a selfie? Can I get a selfie?" I was like, "There's I
We only have 1 minute to warm up.
I've got,
I didn't get to warm up at all.
No.
I had zero warm. I didn't warm up, and I don't have my skates profiled.
No.
So I've been using these flat blades, and I could barely cross over. But I got the crowd out there, and then I was like, I need to go out here and do something. First shift, 7 seconds into the game, I go in.
Oh.
Stevie just feeds me ice slot, just torch this thing shelf.
Yeah.
Steve's pretty solid. Him and Tay
and
added a lot to the squad.
he had the Chara stick. He had that big stick energy.
Yeah, no, I wasn't using the char stick. But if I was, I probably would have scored as well because that's just what I do. So then I got the kids all on the board.
Oh, the crowd went wild.
So
The crowd went
goes
wild.
So I give him one of these, right? So I get the hands. I give him a little,
Playing it up.
and then Buddy on the other team goes.
He didn't know.
He goes, "Is that your first goal?" He goes,
Oh.
"Is that your first goal?"
Yeah, man. Thank you.
And then I go, "I'm about to do that to you guys all night." That's what I said to the guy. I said, "That's going to be all night, brother." He's like, "You do know this is men's league, right?" I said, "I play hockey, brother." I said, "I play hockey. I'm about to do that to you all night long."
Hayden, I'm not kidding. There was like 30 kids watching and cheering. They were chanting his name.
Yeah.
I was like, Chippy!
All
go
night,
do
I
this."
said. And the next
and then
shift,
he buries.
in the next shift, these guys are targeting me.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So I just come out with a cross check. Just
Oh my god.
bro, but they were trying to like full on body check me, so it got nasty. And then I broke my lace, my skate lace.
Yeah.
On the goal, I broke my lace.
It's a
So
nasty cross check. Break your skate.
yeah, I know.
Cross-checked
No,
his laces
my
off.
skate lace blows
You know what's
up
big
after
impact when the
tuck.
shoe flies off?
Skate lace blows up after the tuck, and then I have to like go back to the bench, and I'm like, I couldn't tie my skate really. I had to like do this little
The half knot on the
half
side.
knot on the side, and I
Yeah.
was like, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Still
Hey,
went out and.
Tell him what happened the shift after you. Hey, when
Did you do something?
what?
Did you do something out there?
So
I was focused on my game. I wasn't sure what you had going on.
Chippy bingos, right? Gets the crowd going.
Mm-hmm.
Next shift, I step on center ice.
Oh, yeah, you did.
Right, and the kids are, coach, Chippy,
Yeah.
right? They're all okay. I gotta get one. Chippy gets one. So nice little setup there. Step across the blue line, deke out the D, and rip it right under the bar blocker side.
Did, you
Yeah,
did.
yeah, and the crowd goes wild.
You got
And
you
I
got-
hopped on Chara's stick with the whole.
Yeah, we
No,
rode
I'm just
it.
kidding. No celly for me, but the kids loved it, and then they left, and I was like, perfect.
No, then I went out next shift.
cross jack.
What did I do? No, what did I do? I
Class.
sent Tay on a B-way. I
Oh,
was in tucks, 1-1 first two shifts. All
Yeah.
I needed to do.
Got
Crowd-
That's more
crowd-
on
crowd
more on
leaves.
Tay than you, I'd say. Tay does that every game.
What?
Gets breakaways.
No, I just sent him on
yeah.
a money B-way.
he's pretty quick.
Gave him a little like feather pass, like a delay, like drew the defenseman to me, just like sauced it over this. It was a beautiful dish.
You want to do hypotheticals here, Hayden?
Yeah, let's
or-
do that. Let's have
Yeah.
some fun.
Yeah, let's have some fun here on the pad.
All right, so I came prepared with, I think, two. I could make it one, but I'm gonna like try to separate it so that's easier for you guys.
Okay.
So obviously, the Leafs, there's change is bound to happen, whether it's with the players, management, or both.
Mhm.
We talked a bit about it last episode before the Leafs were even eliminated. Before we get to that, I'd like to even say that my hypothetical from last episode came true.
Yeah, it did.
Which
yeah.
I didn't like.
Yeah.
Which I didn't like. We're never doing that again.
Okay, so I
Never
won't do it.
manifesting that again.
No pretending, Hayden. No
Yeah,
pretending.
we're never doing that again.
Wait, is change imminent for the Leafs? Are they going to shake things up? Because every year they say you got to shake it up.
Well,
think-
we got to get into
I
that
think
more.
I know what's
but-
gonna happen.
Okay.
Yeah. So we'll talk about that a bit more, but just for fun here,
Mhm.
since we know that probably the core four is getting split up.
You think?
It maybe not, but let's go under the assumption that is the Leafs are everyone's on the table. They're
Mm.
considering it.
Mhm.
Right?
No move off the limits.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay.
So with that being said, Mitch Marner,
Yeah.
when he was like negotiating his contract, I don't know if you guys remember, one of the teams that was very interested in him that was supposedly going to offer him like 13 mil or something, 14 mil or something like that,
The Islanders.
which was like just like a ridiculous
That's a
amount.
lot of biosteals.
Columbus,
Mm.
the GM from Columbus, Kekalainen, I think. Kekalainen? I don't remember his first name. Anyway, they were very interested in Marner. Hypothetically, if you're Kyle Dubas and you stayed as GM for the Leafs, if Kekalainen comes to you and says, "I'll go Goudreau for Marner, and I'll throw in a draft pick," do you do it or no? Just for the change.
I like Johnny Hockey, but I just don't know if he really has a pick though. But like,
I don't think I don't because
Nah.
it's the same soft player we're getting back.
yeah,
I wouldn't do it just because it's.
nah,
I don't think Johnny Goudreau's want to hit either.
nah.
I don't think
yeah.
it's like the
Right.
change needs to be like a Kreider.
Yeah, you know,
like-
Kreider, Tkachuk,
Like
Yeah.
someone more big body.
Yeah.
type
Yeah, like if we're getting rid of
Tage
Marner,
Thompson. Yeah, send him
yeah,
for Tage.
yeah, send him for Tage.
and teach the
Give me
6'5" Tage Thompson how
Give me
to crush.
Tage who?
Yeah.
Tage who?
Tage Thompson and Matthews would be a good combo. They train together.
Couple
Yeah, so
Arizona
I would
boys.
say- I
Hey,
would
he's
say
from
no.
Arizona.
I would say no to that.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So fair.
'Kay.
I kind of anticipated that, but I could see that being something that's thrown out there behind the table because Dubas and
okay.
Kekalainen have been done business before.
Okay, well, hold on. For your hypothetical, who wants to go play in Columbus?
Yeah. I don't know. But if
I've never been to Columbus. Maybe it's a good.
I guess
place.
Goudreau does. He did.
Johnny Hackey?
He
Johnny
could've-
Hockey's like, I'm gonna sign the biggest ticket of my career. I don't care where I'm going.
Yeah. Okay, second hypothetical. Florida.
Yep.
Approaches the Leafs.
Mhm.
Says, we'll go to Tkachuk and Verhaeghe for either Marner or Matthews.
Oh, Marner.
All
That's
day.
an easy one.
I'll do that all
Do-
day.
do
We'll do
Verhaeghe.
Marner.
Oh yeah.
All day.
Verhaeghe and Tkachuk for Marner. That's it. That's like they lost that trade. to be
For
honest.
Hayes, a 40. You got more goals than Pappy.
Yeah.
And Tkachuk had 105 points this year. A 9.
Did Verhaeghe have 40 goals?
42
Yeah.
Goals or
rips.
Goals.
oh wow, I missed
Yeah.
42 rips. Yeah, he
Yeah.
had 42 rips. Yeah.
Yeah, that would
Yeah,
okay.
he
Yeah,
went
that would
off.
be easier than I thought.
He went off. He also used to be a Leaf.
Yeah, we
No,
got-
he was
we got rid of him for
picked
Shen.
by the Leafs.
Yeah. They never gave him a shot, but he played for the Marlies.
Yeah.
He was in their system. Like they could have developed
We
him.
traded him
Mhm.
for
Yeah, he's unreal.
They traded him and 4 other players.
for who?
I don't
I,
even
saw
know.
it the other day. I saw it.
Would you go Verhaeghe for Nylander?
Let's see.
No,
No.
I like Styles,
No. I don't know. I think Willy has a lot of upside still.
and he's making 7.
And maybe like Verhaeghe is just like connecting, has the right chemistry, and maybe he comes to Toronto and doesn't have that same chemistry. It's a bit of a
I
Right.
like
Know what I
Willie
mean?
Styles. Like, let's go have some fun. I like that little personality he
Mm.
had before the game 4.
Right.
I think I'm just gonna have some fun. I like that. Like that was the swaggiest answer anyone's ever given. in a Leafs game.
All right. So Leafs traded Verhaeghe for Grabner.
Mm.
Oh my goodness.
They gave away
It was a
Verhaeghe,
long time ago.
Matthew Finn, Taylor Beck, Tom. It was in 2015, I think.
Yeah, so we couldn't have predicted he was gonna rip 40.
No.
No.
But maybe if they were better at developing the Leafs, and they would have known. And
All right.
these
So
guys
there's
good.
the hypos. Let's do. Okay, we're gonna end with the quiz, right?
Yeah, we'll end with the quiz. yeah.
Let's go deeper into the Leafs. So are they going to dismantle? Are they not? Is there any changes going to get made? Who are they going to move?
Let's break this down because I
Okay.
think management
Yep.
is the thing that you have to focus on first because if management changes, then that pretty much dictates that players are definitely going to change.
Okay.
You know, like realistically, if the GM changes, they're going to change something.
What about coach? Coach
Um,
safe or what?
So we're starting. Let's start up top.
Mhm.
Brendan Shanahan, is he staying or is he gonna? Are they gonna have a change because he's going on his 10 years now?
Oh, is he?
I feel like that's a tough word to start. Okay, can I explain what I think's gonna happen?
Okay. Just go through it.
Kyle
yeah.
Dubas is not going anywhere.
No.
He's
He's made great
He-
moves.
So like if you want to sign Matthews, you have to keep Kyle Dubas, in my opinion. Like he's worked with Matthews. Matthews knows. Like it's like if you
Mhm.
want to get these contracts done, like
It's not to say that they couldn't get the contracts done and then change GMs after.
potentially.
Fair, but he seems like he's worked some wizardry for his acquisitions and
Just listening to his interview yesterday, like his
Mhm.
15-minute presser, it just seemed like he doesn't want to go anywhere else.
No.
Yeah.
If anything, he would just like stop GMing for like a little
He's
bit.
gonna go to baseball.
Yeah, he's just gonna like he said that
Completely
this,
change it up. Yeah.
this year was tough on
He's
his
like, I
family.
need a sport where I can actually do Moneyball.
Yeah.
No, but that's what he was saying. This year was super tough on his family, and like
Right.
man, that stress would have been crazy. Like you
Mhm.
saw even like the playoff series. He's like, fired up, like super emotional, like his whole career, like
Mm-hmm.
He was
on
like
the
yelling
line.
back at the Tampa Bay fans.
that's what he was saying. He's
Yeah.
like, yeah, I probably shouldn't have done that, but I'm emotional.
He's an
I'm
emotional, and
human."
so is Keefe. They're both emotional
Yeah.
people.
Keefe, I think, is walking out the door.
But that's the thing. Keefe is Dubas's guy.
Yep.
I feel like so the way that I look at it is that Keefe is Dubas's guy and Dubas is Shanahan's guy. If I'll start at the top. If Shanahan says I want to change GMs, then MLSC is going to be like, okay, well, we're looking at a different route. We're going to change up you. We're
Yeah,
gonna get,
Shanny, the
'cause,
Shannon
like,
plan done.
Yeah, because Shanny brought in Dubas, and that's his guy. Then it goes down further. Dubas picked Keefe. That's his coach. If he wants to change it up, then it's like, or if he doesn't want to change it up and he's too stubborn, then it's like, okay, well, we're going to go a different way with the GM. You know?
Also, what they were saying.
And Keefe is stubborn with the players. He's like, with the way that he's like,
Oh, it's true.
always like trying the same line with Tavares, Nylander, and Kerfoot on the second line for like every
I
single.
couldn't stand that line. That's from my least favorite line in hockey.
Yeah. And like he's stubborn and he always goes back to things like that. Like he changes it up, but sometimes too much. And he doesn't change up the things that needs to.
Yeah, or he won't change it when I'm like, you need to change this, Keefe. He'll change it in the third. I'm like, we need to change this now, like after the first period.
You want to know what I don't know why he didn't do? Just throw Ryan O'Reilly on the wing with Matthews. Like
Yeah.
do like
I know,
Matthews or
easy.
Uncroak O'Reilly.
Yeah.
Easy.
Or at the very least put O'Reilly on the second line with Tavares. But
Yeah.
but like
The-
I wanted to see O'Reilly play like top
Yeah.
minutes
Yeah.
or at least like
He's a playoff guy.
high scoring chances with Matthews, like just muck in front of the net.
Like
and bang some
O'Reilly,
in.
Nylander, Matthews. Why didn't we see that look?
Yeah.
Yeah, O'Reilly is like a playoff guy. He took St. Louis deep. He knows what it takes to win. He elevates his game.
O'Reilly, Matthews, Marner. We didn't even see. Remember, that was O'Reilly had a Hattie playing with.
Yeah.
Why? Did we not see that look? Did we not see?
I don't think we did.
Oh,
I don't know.
That is
Maybe
I
for
didn't see
like
a lot of
the
O'Reilly.
odd shift after a power play or something.
Yeah.
But the other thing is the core forwards on the Leafs, aside from Tavares, they never play like Matthews, Marner, Nylander.
Mm.
Like he only does that like every now and then. But like I would have liked to see that look in the regular season a bit more.
Right.
Because like you look at teams like Boston, it's like you throw Pasternak, Bergeron, and Marchand on the same line all year.
They just
There's a reason
light
it's
it
called
up.
the perfection line. It's their three best players all in one line.
Yeah.
Why not? Like they've all played together on the power play. Why not let them cook? You know,
Let them
Yeah.
cook.
Yeah.
Let them cook. But
Well, someone said that the reason Oilers got bumped is because they just leaned on their top guys, and like their third and fourth line barely saw any minutes. They had like 5 minutes, 7 minutes, 5 minutes of like ice time because it's just like double shifting the big boys. And
well, that's what you got to
that's
do.
well, the
like,
Oilers
wow.
was just too run and gun. I mean,
They're playing 11 and 7, right? Like 7
Yeah.
11 forwards, and they're tI'm trying to get Draisaitl and McDavid out there like every other shift, which is fine, but
unless you get tired out,
it
after
doesn't work.
playing every other day.
If you looked, I'm pretty sure. Like I didn't look at the numbers, but watching the games that I didn't actually watch their elimination game. I can't remember what I was doing. I think it was golf.
I called what was going to happen. I said they're going to go up 2-1. That's going to become 4-2. Edmonton's going to have make this like these games are always crazy. They'll have the game in hand, and then next thing you know, it's like a 2-1 game or 2-0 game for Edmonton. Then it's like 4-2 the other team. Then Edmonton will get 2.
Mhm.
They'll go to overtime. That's how they've played like the last
Yeah.
5 years. It seems like they can't like play hockey without run and gun.
Well, the thing that I noticed,
giving up 3 and then scoring 3. Like
they're always a run and gun team, but the thing that I noticed with Edmonton in these playoffs, and it's pretty much been true the regular season as well, is that they're lethal on the power play, but then 5-on-5 they get hemmed in their own zone and they get dominated.
yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
they're a
and
power play team.
And
like the
Vegas
Leafs.
is a 5-on-5 team. Like they play the type of hockey you need to play in the playoffs. And once, like throughout each series as it goes on, the penalties get less and less. And in my mind, the odds shift to be in the favor of the team that's better 5-on-5. And
Refs
Vegas
put away the whistle a little bit.
yeah, and
Little
Vegas
harder
plays
hockey,
like
yeah.
harder hockey, and they like obviously they got away with some brutal non-calls, but like that's the game that the NHL has put in front of you. They've been doing that for years, right?
Yeah, so you pick a team for that, right?
Like the Leafs need to play like, oh, we're gonna try and get away, like start off being the more aggressive team
Yeah.
and hope
So
that the refs don't call
we,
it.
we,
You know,
we need a whole change.
Do you build a team for the Leafs of players like that play that style of hockey, or do you bring in a coach that can implement a system?
it needs to be the main players that change.
The more I'm thinking is we need to get rid of the whole team.
Yeah.
Let's
Just
get
trade
rid of
them for-
everybody.
Just complete dismantle and rebuild. They just pick
Yeah.
up like
The more I'm thinking about it.
just a bunch of second line players, but have like every line is your second line.
Well, you look at
Yeah.
you look at players like
No $13 million contracts here.
you look at like Crosby, Malkin,
Yep.
feisty players,
Yeah,
really
yeah.
edge to them. You look at McKinnon and even McCarr now.
We look at Stanley Cup winners.
They play
Yeah.
with an edge that like they're playing with the intent to like, okay, I'm going to beat you at every
Yeah.
opportunity possible.
Yeah.
You look at Boston, everyone on their team,
Oh.
but even Pasternak has an edge to him. Kucherov on Tampa,
Yeah.
Tkachuk on Florida.
Yeah.
The Leafs' top players need to play with an edge to them, and they don't. They're like they shy away from the bat. Like they're getting better, but in the big moments, they're not like, I'm going to come and take this puck from you.
Yeah.
They're just like
It's
waiting.
unbelievable.
They're waiting
It's
for it.
actually unbelievable.
They don't play with that tenacity, right?
Yeah.
So speaking of who's left in the playoffs, how do you guys feel about these teams? We got Dallas, we got Vegas, we've got Florida, and the Hurricanes.
Mhm.
How do you guys feel about that matchup? And who do you think is moving on to the Stanley Cup final, or should I call it the Sun Belt final?
I'm going to say Canes in 5
Okay,
against Florida. They
Canes beat Florida, eh?
they've been proving it to me more and more just how great of a team they are. They don't
And-
even have Svetch,
and they don't even have their top player.
and
Top guy's gone.
and they've proven that they can defend with any goalie in the net.
Fair.
They don't need like a Vesna caliber goalie to win.
Yep.
They're a good, solid systems team, but they know how to score when they need to.
Mhm.
Brent Burns is like a playoff performer.
Don't forget Jarvis. He's doing
Seth
well.
Jarvis,
Yep.
Chippy's man,
Yep.
is playing really well. He's he's got a wicked shot.
Okay.
They're gonna win that series, no problem. And I got Vegas in the final on the other side.
I'll take Florida as like the underdog story keeps on
Story
going.
of the
yeah.
yeah.
This
Florida's getting pounded.
you think yeah.
Florida's getting pounded. in
I
this
mean, I could
series.
totally see that. The
They're
Canes have
getting
a great
pounded
squad,
by the Canes.
and they've proved it in the regular season. They've also proved it in the they handedly beat Jersey. Like
Yeah.
They've had the most playoff success at any team in the last 5 years. So
Yeah.
they've had most playoff round wins.
And I would say in this playoffs, they've had the most success as well. Like it hasn't been like, oh, they're down and out. It looks like they're going to get bumped. That
They've
sort of
just
thing.
had
They've-
control every game. It
Yeah.
seems like they're the best.
They've
coached
been
team in
waiting
the
to
league.
push through the second round for a long time.
Mm.
I'm pretty sure, right?
Yeah.
When's the last time
Yeah.
they made it through the second round? I
don't know.
I think a couple. I feel for like
It's been a few years.
They have a great young core. They've got good
Yeah.
players. They've had a long break.
it's the
So
coaching staff, and it's just like
Mhm.
yeah, like they're coached like
They're all very
so
in
well.
unison with
Yeah,
how they
it's
play.
but
So-
I'll take Florida.
insanely well coached.
I'm just going to take Florida because they always seem to find a way.
right.
Right? Like I don't know how they do it, but they've done it. On the other side, let's take, you're saying, did you say Vegas?
I said Vegas. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, do you want to? And I'm saying Vegas in 6.
Okay.
It's gonna be a battle. Dallas has been playing really well, but I think that Vegas just finds ways to beat good goalies.
I need Vegas to win that.
I'm saying Vegas as well. Dallas is a good squad, but it seems like Vegas just has a little bit more.
Across the
of-
board, Vegas. Eh?
Phil
yeah.
Castle hasn't seen any ice. There.
He's going to put Kessel out to be
Boy
the Game 7
Phil,
hero.
my boy
They've been
Phil.
saving him for the Cup final, the Game 7 Cup final, just to go out, score a goal, and then sub out.
Yeah. Let's put
None
him
of you
in.
guys have won a cup.
Yeah.
I've won one. You give me some ice. I've won a cup already.
Do they throw Kessel
Hey,
in there?
Eichel,
Eh?
you haven't won a cup, Eichel, yet.
No.
I have.
Eichel's been playing really good though.
Yeah.
Did you see when they put him on a line with? If you watch the highlights, they put him on a line with Mark Stone and Marchessault, a line of all righties.
That's a good line, though.
But they're just like
Ew,
dominating.
Of course, all righties are going to dominate.
Yeah.
Of course, all righties are
Yeah,
gonna
righties are the best, right?
Okay. Yeah.
They have
So-
so much snipe show ability.
So in the chat, we've got Joe Soul 246. He says, "Move them to Atlanta." He was talking about the Leafs. Just take the whole team and move them to Atlanta.
That's
But
hilarious.
that brings up a great point. Why are expansion teams so good? Why can't they just be trash like they used to be? Hey, do you remember in the early years when Atlanta gets a team and Minnesota gets a team, and you're like, these teams are
Stink.
absolute garbage. They're dog food.
Okay, I have an answer.
dumpster
I have an
fires.
answer. I think, well, first of all, just the level of players is just so much better now. Like,
Okay.
there's so much greater.
Yeah.
Like, there's
Talent,
not that
yeah.
much disparity between.
It's almost hard to find a spot in the top 6 with how much talent there is.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's
Like
guys
to
that
get ice time that like there's guys that could be in the top 6 that just aren't because there's too many good players.
just don't get a look.
Yeah.
and you're
Right.
also
Gotta
you're
show
also
themselves.
getting so many players from every team can't protect all their players. So
Right.
it's like they're getting some nasty players just from the selecting from everyone else's team.
So these expansion teams happen. Like Ottawa was in the 90s, Atlanta. The Thrashers never stood a chance. When they put a team in Atlanta, they had Kovalchuk.
Kovalchuk was the only reason that
And
franchise was.
did they have Gabrick as well? I think they had.
Yeah.
Or no, that was the Minnesota. I think maybe Wild had Gabrick. I don't know. Yeah, like they had one good player, and then all the rest were just like. I mean, Atlanta also drafted.
Those were my favorite jerseys, the Thrashers.
They had a cool
that was
jersey,
the coolest
but-
team in the league.
But
man.
the Thrashers drafted Pavel Brendel first overall, and I think also Patrick Stefan. They were huge draft busts, and Pavel Brendel, they drafted him out of like some southern, like he was playing like roller hockey at the age of 20, and they took him first over, something ridiculous like that. I'm like, why did they draft this guy who scored 50 goals? He scored 50 goals in like a 6-tier team. I'm like, I don't know why they took this guy first overall. And yeah, I think his claim to fame is that he bobbled the puck on an open net, and then was it Gagne, or was he grabs the
On
puck?
Stars.
It was Danny Heatley on the Atlanta.
Oh, Danny, he was great at 50 and 50. Yeah,
Beautiful.
yeah, the Thrashers. That was a good draft pick. But yeah, Brendel's Pavel Brendel's was it Path of Tears, where he bobbles the puck late in the game on an empty net. I think Gagne picks it up and passes it up the ice. Edmonton scores, sends it to overtime.
Oh, that 7 seconds left.
Yeah, 7
when
seconds
he
left.
misses the little
He
tap
misses
in.
the net, yeah, and then the other team Oilers come back and score. So that was his most famous NHL play.
Well, the thing with those old expansion teams is that the cost for them to like have them start was significantly less.
Right.
Even with inflation and all that stuff.
Yep.
So the amount of resources they had to make the smart decisions was a lot less. So there's that. But then my theory also, and I think this is underrated, is that it's psychological as well. Because when the old expansion team started, it was like, okay, you're an expansion team, you got to grind your way up. You're expected to lose for years before you even can get good.
I think the rules were different, like on how they select players. And how they
No,
get
no,
players.
they were. I'm just saying that's part of why it's psychological is because the rules changed that. Okay, well now it's like psychologically, it's like, okay, the new team wants me. They picked me from the litter of all the other teams, and I'm gonna get an opportunity now. So it's everyone's looking at it from a positive angle instead of like, oh, I'm on an expansion team.
Yeah.
You know, and they want to prove everyone wrong. We're on an expansion team, and we want to prove them that we're better, and that our former teams just didn't know.
It really
Yeah,
does
I like
give,
that. I
yeah,
like that.
it really does give these second and third line guys who, in their heart, they feel they could be a top line guy. And like, okay, so you're on Pittsburgh, and we've got Crosby and Malkin, and like, or Boston, you know, you got
we can't
Marchand.
protect you.
Like, yeah,
See you later.
you're not getting first line minutes, and you're gonna struggle at second line. Look at
Same at the Leafs.
yeah, was it who was it they had? He's in Vancouver now.
Vancouver.
Yeah, they moved to Vancouver. He was
From Mikheyev?
yeah, McKayev. That's what it was.
I like him.
So like he wanted to play first or second line,
Right.
but you know, okay, no, we got Matthews, we got Marner, we got Nylander, we got Tavares, and then we got like, you know, someone on the wing, Bunting on the wing. Like, sorry, you're not getting that second line. You're on the third line. But he's a good player, right? He moved to Vancouver and he's doing well there. But those are the types of players where it's like, yeah, like Yanni Gord. You look at the Kraken, they have all these guys that are just like crushing it. But they're not stars because they never got a chance to be a star. And the same thing happened in Vegas. I think they had like a couple 40-goal scorers their first year.
Yeah, it was Marchessault, Riley, and
Carlson
and
did
William
well.
Carlson. Yeah.
Yeah.
They all had breakout years
Did
Surprise,
Seattle?
surprise, they got
did
first line
Seattle
minutes,
get anything
right?
From us.
from the Leafs. Yeah, Jared McCann.
And he's doing really well in the playoffs.
He's their best goal. He's their top goal scorer. Jared McCann, but the Leafs only had him for like a few days before they got because they acquired him just to save Kerfoot and Hall,
it was a
Oh no.
which is the worst decision ever because both Kerfoot and Hall are talks about Leafs that are for sure not going to be back next year,
oh no.
and they put Jared McCann up instead of them, and Jared McCann turned out to be their top goal scorer.
Oh no.
But it seems like in the moment seems like such a smart move to get someone just
to
to put them on the
protect.
chopping block, right? Like let's acquire a guy.
It
Just
was like a third round pick and fifth or something. Like it was a few draft picks they gave up to get Jared McCann. Just
keep
basically instead of
Kerfoot
giving
in
up a roster
Hall.
player.
and yeah, McCann's just crushing the playoffs. But it's because he's given those minutes.
But
That's
he got injured from
Yeah.
Makar. Makar leveled them, and he hasn't. I don't think he played again. Or no, he played the last game and lost because they just got
yeah,
eliminated.
they just got put out.
Yeah.
All right, let's go on to the draft. So,
Yeah, you guys, you're doing it.
me and Chip.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm going off.
Top.
Oh,
Okay. You guys are going to be drafting the top sit-down restaurants in Canada.
Canada.
We got to go in Canada because we're not educated on the states.
I love the Cracker Barrel. They don't have it in Canada. I can't draft the Cracker Barrel or the Red Roof Inn or any of these American. So if you're from the States, you can just listen to these names and be like, I never heard of that place. Never heard of that place.
Yeah.
Because I think
There's like one or two like bigger corporations in Canada that own all the restaurants here pretty much.
Yeah.
and it's funny because I think some of them might be kind of Ontario centric. Like I'm just gonna throw one out there. You can draft if you want, whatever. Eastside Mario's. Like I just thought that was like an international. That's in the States. It's pretty much only Ontario.
I mean, East Side, I guess, makes sense.
It feels American.
Eastern-
Eastside. It feels Italian.
I
Like
went
it's from
there for the
Jersey.
first time in forever the other day.
Yeah. I mean, good restaurant. You get free bread and free
Oh, I
salad.
know,
They
the
just keep
bre-
bringing it.
I was like,
I mean,
no.
if you buy
didn't
an
know-
entree, you
I
can't just
I
go
didn't
in.
know how that worked, so I'm like, do I just eat
You can
this,
every time you leave Eastside Mario's, you leave with a full belly. I'll
Oh
tell you.
yeah.
And if you're smart, you order another thing of salad and bread right as you're about to finish your meal. Then you ask, "Can I get a takeout thing?" For
what you do is like when you're in high school, you go with like a group of friends, and then the cheap one just doesn't order anything, eats all the Caesar salad and
the
the
salad,
other
yeah.
people's bread, right?
You
'Cause
just
they
order a
keep you warm.
drink.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's hilarious. I didn't know that.
It's a college move right
Yeah.
there. Like,
All right, so
And you
you
know
guys
that.
go rock paper scissors for who gets to go first.
You know what, Jerry? You go first.
wow.
Wow, look at
You're that confident you're gonna win.
I'm really confident.
You gave up a big one though. All right. First overall, top sit down restaurants
in Canada.
in Canada. I'm taking the Keg Steakhouse and Grill.
Ooh.
Because
Overrated.
come on. You wanna go
Overrated.
it already starts, eh?
Overrated.
We'll
the-
leave the judging to the people listening. Okay.
The Keg is where you go for a steak. You just know it's consistent. They've
Too
got
much
good
salt.
sides.
Too much salt on it.
I'm taking it as the top one in Canada. The
Keg is a solid
Steakhouse
pick.
and
It's-
Grill.
If you're going like premium sit down, everyone knows it.
It's an elevated chain experience. There are some competitors, but no one's really gotten there yet. There's some people knocking on the door, but
And they're the biggest one in that whole group of.
I think they're the
restaurants.
top dog. I
Yeah.
do believe. I wanted to go.
But I'm
with the
interested
big
to
boy
see what
first.
Chippy goes with.
I mean, yeah. Are you going budget? Are you going a little different? And let's just throw this out here first. They have to have a number of chains. Like I would love to take Copacabana. They only have 3 locations. It's a Brazilian steakhouse, absolutely amazing.
Right.
But they have 3 locations. You can't take that.
Yeah, it's got to be like known across at least
Okay.
Ontario, but hopefully all of Canada.
Hopefully all of Canada. But I haven't dined out in the East
know,
Coast. They
neither
have
have I.
like St. Hubbard's and like
Fish and chips from,
Dixie
from
Lee and
Halifax or something.
like Mary Brown's, but it's not really a sit down restaurant. But there are like some other chains out there. But they're like,
All right. All right.
oh, you got one?
I'll follow up. This one plays a lot more than the Keg.
Okay.
A lot more than
A lot more ice time
This
here,
one-
eh?
This one gets a lot more. I would say I don't go here often, but whenever I do, it seems like it's a good dish.
Mm-hmm.
Seems like it's a deep menu.
Okay.
Boston pizza.
Ah, that is a great pick.
Yeah, it's a good
I
pick.
mean,
I'll give you that one.
And considering that when we did the fast food chain draft, if you haven't seen our episode on that, go watch that. When we did that, so many people were commenting, "What about Boston Pizza? What about Boston
Yep.
Pizza?" And it's funny because as a Canadian, I don't even think of Boston Pizza
Yeah.
as super Canadian.
Yep.
But in the States, what's it called? Boston's or something?
Boston's. It is a Canadian chain. It's called Boston Pizzas, but it's formed in Canada from Jim Treliving.
Yeah.
From the Dragon's Den.
Brad's brother.
Yes. Yeah, Brad's brother. Okay.
Brad True Living from
I think that's his kid.
is it?
Yeah, Jim Treliving. That's Brad is his kid.
Oh,
Yes, I'm pretty sure.
maybe, yeah, that makes sense.
I'd say BP, great pick. Very well known, well liked player. They're pretty family friendly. I just don't think he's got the same skills. Just a little bit more of like a second liner for me. To compete with BP, second overall, I'm gonna go with a real contract friendly player here, but a real crowd pleaser, family friendly as well. I'm going Swiss Chalet.
Ooh.
Oh, it's a good pick. Good pick. In my opinion, it's completely changed.
Swiss Chalet is underrated. A lot of people get it as takeout now, but it definitely is known as a sit-down restaurant. So I'll give it to you.
I would say
yeah.
I love Swiss Chalet. I love that pick. I used to love Swiss Chalet.
Right?
They changed.
Really?
Swiss Chalet changed everything.
No way.
Their
Because
fries changed.
no.
Everything changed.
Oh, no.
I'm telling you, I loved Swiss Chalet.
Are you saying my player's washed up now?
Yeah.
Because like they used to have the festive special.
It
You
was
go
so
in
good.
there.
It
you
was
get
my
the-
favorite play.
Oh,
It's actually,
the chicken is amazing.
it just-
Rotisserie.
it's not the same.
Disappointed.
but
Okay,
it's
I'm gonna
great-
have to
but
take
it's
the
a
kids
great
out
pick,
there.
But it's a great pick.
Okay, appreciate that.
I'm gonna go with my second overall pick. You went Swiss LA, eh? Okay.
Drum roll.
You know what? This is a place I go to locally a lot.
Okay.
Great wings, half price wings on Thursdays. It always used to be half price apps after 9.
Uh-oh.
Kelsey's.
Oh, Kelsey's.
Interesting.
Very nice. I'd say that's like the discount keg. I'm calling it discount keg.
No,
Because it's got a big menu.
Their spin dip's
and it's-
crazy.
Their
Yeah,
spinach dip
their
is
spin
great.
dip is
Yeah,
crazy at Kelsey's.
They do have that. They got that going for them.
Mm.
All right, solid pick. I'd say you're gonna get some good play from them. I'm gonna go with something a little different. I mean, we got some nice dinner places here. My third overall, I'm going Wimpy's Diner. You know, I want to get
Wimpy's.
right? It's a
Interesting.
chill place. They got good prices there, and you can get a nice breakfast.
I can't remember the last time that I actually sat down in a Wimpy's. Normally,
Really?
like if I get
I went to
like
it
now
the other day.
nowadays, if I get like a breakfast from Wimpy's or something, like it's like when I'm in Barrie and I just want to like order Uber Eats or something.
Oh, fair. Okay.
Like I can't remember the last time I actually sat down in Wimpy's. I prefer to go to like a small diner.
Fair.
Like
Yeah,
a-
like a
like a lo-
local place, a nice local place, like a Greasy Spoon. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, we can only take but I wonder if that's a pick. If you can say, I'm just drafting every local establishment
No, that's not that
against the
doesn't
rules.
count.
No.
I will allow you to pick something local as long as it has more than like 3 locations.
Okay, more than 3. That's the rule.
Yeah. Maybe I should more than 5. Like
Should I draft for Hayden to pick me as the winner? Hey, I know what you're talking about. You know,
I'm battling a meal I had from last night right now. Just so you guys know, I'm battling something right now.
and we're talking about food too. All
Um,
right, Chippy, your third overall.
I like the breakfast take. I'm gonna go Angela's Diner. Have you
Angela's.
ever been to Angela's?
I have not.
Angela's.
I thought you were going Sunset
Is
Grill.
that like a Barrie only location?
Okay, maybe I can't pick that.
I don't because I've never
Maybe
I've
it's-
heard of it, but
I-
I'm pretty
I think
sure
it
it's
was
only
like
one
it
location.
was like in Kitchener. Whenever I used to Angela's Diner, it was Flashbacks Diner. Flashbacks.
I've heard of that.
It's in
but-
Barrie on East Bayfield Street.
flashbacks? All right,
Okay, I'll go Flashbacks Diner.
flashback.
I go
diner.
there more than Wimpy's. Flashbacks.
Interesting.
But that could be
Yeah.
only in Barrie. Like, I
It
don't-
feels like a local. If you're going like, have you heard of like the Sunset Grill?
yeah, the Sunset Grill. Chorus. I'll go Chorus.
Chorus is
Chorus, there you
I'll
go.
go
That's,
Chorus.
yeah.
All right, give me a good read for the TikTok here.
Yeah,
Eh?
I'll go
Yeah.
Chorus.
Chippy's, what was it third overall pick? Eh,
Yeah, Chorus.
going with Coors. That's a solid pick. Good family friendly.
Pancakes, the everything. They got it all.
Oh, okay, you got him.
Yeah.
All right, this is we're coming down to it here. I got a few good picks here. It's gonna be hard to really narrow down. For my 4th overall, I'm going with something you want a team party. You know, you want to bring a lot of people out.
Mm.
There is nothing here that like people would not eat. There's something for everyone.
Oh,
Something for
I'm
everyone
upset if I know the one you're
at
picking.
the Mandarin
Oh,
buffet.
That's
All you can eat.
yeah.
Right? You want to bring 20 people out, you all go to the Mandarin.
and
It's the same price for everyone, and you just get you can eat 10 plates if you want.
And the best part is, if you bring the whole family, there's a chance that you all get food poisoning.
Yes, together. So it's like a team that goes together, grows together.
I have a funny story about that actually. I went to I had a hockey tournament when I was younger.
Yep.
So my family missed out on a family birthday at the Mandarin.
Yep.
And then the following day, we hear back, yeah, we all have food poisoning.
Oh boy.
And they're all mad at us because we missed it because I had a hockey tournament.
Oh boy. I mean, we used to go to the Mandarin like a couple times a year as kids, and it was an event for us.
Mm.
My brother
Well,
and
it's a fun time, right? Like you
Yeah,
can just
but
go and load up your plate like 17 times if you want.
as a kid, you're exposed to so many types of foods that you never even knew about, and they're just sitting there like, oh, grab this, grab this. So my brother and I would have competitions. We'd start with like, okay, salad, something light, get that in you, and then we'd go to like a meal plate. We're gonna start with, okay, let's go American. We
Right.
get like the pizza and the spaghetti and the fries. Right. Next, okay, let's go Japanese. We're getting the sushi. Next plate, we're going Chinese.
This is a
and
competition,
yeah. Who could eat the most plates?
Right.
Right. So we'd.
Oh, I've
count.
done that, but it was like as a kid, I'd go and I'd get the same like 6 things over and over.
Yeah, no.
I was never very explorative as a kid.
Oh yeah, I mixed it up, but yeah, we'd see who could eat the most amount of plates.
Right.
And I think like 9 or 10 was the record, and it's like just bellies like out to here. We'd have Mandarin babies.
Yeah. You're walking out, they're like,
That's
you
a
got
great pick.
To carry me out of there.
Every birthday I would go to the Mandarin.
Great spot. Great spot.
That was my spot growing up. We were going to the Mandarin for my birthday.
Snuck it in there.
Yeah.
right,
I'm
Chippy,
gonna
you're
go with a
fourth.
very, very popular pick. I don't know if I can take a specific restaurant here. Yeah, just
Like the specific
noble,
location?
noble cuisine sushi.
Oh, a
Oh.
sushi.
I don't know if it's noble. I was just like more like just like a sushi.
Right. I've never had sushi.
Oh,
I don't know if-
whoa.
yeah.
What?
Well, I've had it, but like I've
Probably
never
my
I've never
favorite-
gone to a
it's probably
sit down
my
restaurant and had
favorite.
sushi. You know,
I,
like-
I have
Probably my
not
favorite
found
thing.
a really big like chain restaurant sushi spot. There are a lot of great like there's usually
yeah,
smaller
like Noble is a really good one. in
Noble is good
Barrie,
sushi, okay.
Noble. There's Sakana House in Barrie too.
Hmm.
Um,
It's funny, like I've never went and sit down and had sushi.
Oh
And
my
I've
gosh,
only,
it's
I only
amazing.
had it
Sushi.
like from like Zares or something, and even then, I'm not really a big fan.
if you're in Ontario, go to Muskoka. Wabora in Bracebridge is just amazing. Wabora sushi, phenomenal spot if you want some good sushi. My last pick, this is going to be tough. I thought a few of these would be knocked off the board here.
yeah, so just so you know, everyone knows Jeremy researched before doing this. So I'm going off the dome piece here.
Fair. Yeah, I wrote down a few that came to mind.
we gave you a heads up. You could have
Give you a heads
researched.
up. Okay. This one's tough for me because there's a lot on the board, and I think we're gonna get a lot of feedback in the comments saying I can't.
There's a couple that I would
yeah.
have had already, but
There's some I can just rhyme off the top of my head, and I asked my wife. She's like, "No, not that place." They're all kind of the same.
Oh,
you know,
you've like had discussions with people.
I was talking.
you've got you phoned a friend. You had the.
I mean,
Can I eliminate 50-50 like the Who Wants to Be a Millionaire?
you drive downtown Aurelia, and you just drive past them all. There's East Side Mario's, Kelsey's, Montana's, like you know, all these different spots. I kind of want to grab Wild Wing. It's a great wing spot, but it's kind of all they do. It's a bit of a one-trick pony. I'm throwing that out there,
Not
Chippy.
very diverse.
No, and I think it's a newer chain. It hasn't really expanded. I'm going to take, I believe this is an American brand, and I'm taking this for my American fans because we do want to draw in, you know, that US audience. So for my last pick, so budget friendly, it competes with the keg. I don't know how they do it, but they serve the same type of food as the keg, but at like half the price. So this is very cap friendly for my team. Still performs. Great for taking your hockey team out because you're not going to blow your budget. Chuck's Roadhouse. It is honestly, like you can get
the Chucks.
Chuck's. Tkachuk.
Shout out the Chucks.
Chuck's Roadhouse. Like you can get a steak and with the sides and a beer for like $20.
Yeah, it's the discount keg.
It's unbelievable. And you can, they have like, oh, we're doing surf and turf, steak and lobster for $25. I'm like, how can they afford to make money? I don't know where they're getting their cows.
Oh,
Are they printing them in the back? 3D printing this meat? So I'm taking Chuck's as my my last pick there. Very budget friendly, cap friendly.
All right, I have two specifically that I would have drafted. but
Chippy still has the
but
last
Chippy
one.
has the last one. I'm gonna wait before I speculate too much.
The notable mentions.
two specifically, you would. Well, I'm going with what I need to go with.
It's your team. Right?
Red Lobster.
Oh,
That was one of mine. Yeah,
Red
Oh.
Lobster.
the
it's
surf and
dynamite.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Dynamite.
Red Lobster.
Dropping
to-
down to 10 was crazy.
That actually is a steal. That's a steal.
I would have had that in the top 3
Yeah.
Yeah.
because it's just like premium quality food,
Yeah,
right?
you
Like
get the bread, you get that. Oh, the croissants come out.
and the
oh.
servers, like the waitresses and everything, are always like so like I'm not old, but like they're always just so nice and like caring about like
Oh,
what they
it's
bring
just
out to you. It's like, would you like another peach juice, honey?
like another double stuffed shrimp.
The thing about Red's Lobster, I don't think we ever went there, so that's like kind of flew under my radar because we go to Swiss Chalet, it's cheap. The Red Lobster is more of a premium experience, right? And because it's Red Lobster, you just think, oh, they got lobster. I'm not in the mood for lobster, you don't go to Red Lobster, right? But
Right.
they do have a great menu. It's a good spot. That's Joe Soul here in the comments says Texas Roadhouse. They do have that. I saw one in Toronto and I've been to it. It's a good restaurant. That's a
Right.
nice mention there. And he held it until after the draft was done. So
Yes, thank you for
not-
not letting them cheat, Joe.
I think a few other ones that we missed, like the
Well, I have
Olive Garden.
Olive Garden wasn't on my
No?
on my
I
thing.
don't think
but-
that's in Canada, is it?
Is it not? Oh
yeah.
Olive Garden, no.
no,
Yeah.
you know you're right.
No.
There is no Olive Garden. I thought there was one in Orillia, but it's called Olive something
Eastside
else.
Mario's is our Olive Garden.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
essentially it. Yeah.
exactly,
So
yeah.
people will be screaming about the Olive Garden. How do you not draft the Olive Garden? We don't have Olive Garden in Canada.
I would have had East Sides in my list.
Yep.
But also Jack Astor's.
Jack Astor's the big one. That was on my list. That was my.
Their burgers and nice
Never go
beer,
there.
like just a great time.
For me, it was between Jack Astor's and Chuck's, and I just had such a great experience when Chuck's came to Huntsville. I was so amazed at how affordable the prices were and how you could get good food
Right.
for a good price there.
Some of the appetizers at Jack's are just unbelievable. Like there's one, it's like a broccoli mixture type thing. It's got like a sauce on it and stuff. It's just so good, and it's like you wouldn't even think to get that at a restaurant like that.
Yeah.
But every dish they have is actually like well thought out and good.
To be honest, like whenever I go to these restaurants, they all blend to me. Like I go to Jack Astor's, I go to Kelsey's, I go to Montana's, Krabby Joe's, right? And I can never really distinguish what separates them from the next. Like I just
Right.
don't know. I think it's just a sit down restaurant. I look at the menu. I haven't gone. I guess I don't go out enough to know like I want this thing at this restaurant or this one does this better. Right. It's a sit down restaurant for me.
One of the better burgers you can get at a sit down restaurant around here, and I wouldn't have picked this in my draft because I don't think it's all Canadian, but
Yep.
it's Kensington's.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
That's kind of
Kensington's burger.
Kensington's. Yeah.
Their burgers, they have like custom burgers, and that's like what you go there for. It's
Fair. That's
very high quality selection of burgers there.
For my list, I just wanted like okay, I got a steakhouse, I got a chicken spot, I got a breakfast place, all you can eat, and then just like a discount.
Let me recap your
All right,
guys'
let's go.
picks.
Let's go.
I'll go with Jeremy first.
Yep.
First overall, we got the Keg.
Boom.
With the third overall, we got Swish LA.
Mhm.
Fifth overall, Wimpy's Diner. Then he went with Mandarin and Chuck's Roadhouse. Well-rounded lineup. Pretty much something for everyone on that team.
Thank you.
You can't be a GM and not be happy with that selection.
Good draft. Good
We
draft.
got Chippy. His first overall pick was Boston Pizza.
Deep menu.
That's a winner.
That's
There's something there for everyone.
Yes.
Then we got Kelsey's.
Cheap.
It's affordable and it's
Chuck's,
delicious.
Kelsey's cancel.
I think
I would say that Kelsey's over time has started to get a little bit more expensive. They've inflated their prices a bit more. But
Facts.
that being said, they have a kind of elevated dishes.
One of the best spin dips in the game.
Yeah, like
If-
they have
if you
they have
wanna
some
get spin dip,
elevated
yeah.
dishes. They're solid. Cora's you had to pick that to compete with Wimpy's, right? Like
And Wimpy's I went the other day.
Cora's is everywhere in Toronto too. Like you go around.
they are. Yeah, they're
Yeah.
everywhere.
They're like probably arguably easier to find in the big cities and harder to find in the outskirts, like where we are.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Then he's got Noble's Sushi.
So that one competes with the all-you-can-eat Mandarin. A little more high quality than the Mandarin.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I don't think it competes because the Mandarin has just way more options and
It's the same
variety.
thing. No, but there's options. Like you can get pizza at the freaking sushi.
Right. Okay.
You can get like
Mm.
yeah. There's actually a lot of menu. Like there's
Right.
it's a deep menu. It's
Shrimp
nothing.
and sashimi pizza.
Mm. There's a all you can eat buffet restaurant in Barrie on off of
like you can get
Veterans
you can get
and
burgers and stuff
Mapleview.
there, too.
What's it called? Do you know what? Chippy, do you know
What? Which one?
the all you can eat restaurant buffet
Where?
off of Veterans and Mapleview?
Is it called like?
It starts with an R, I think, or something. I
No,
can't
it's not
remember.
coming to me.
Anyway, Rec Room was another one that you guys didn't have. That
Dave and Buster's
Dave and
maybe.
Buster's.
yeah,
There's,
like where you can go with the kids and it's like a fun place to be as well
Maybe
as
a
eat.
wild card for the draft. Yeah, but
Yeah.
I don't mind.
Anyway, before I cut everything off, Chippy with the ultimate 10th overall pick, a steel Red Lobster.
Yeah,
Huge.
yeah.
It seems like a
Slid.
insane.
I really like the top two and end of Chippy's draft, but I think overall, if it were me, there's more on Jeremy's roster where I would pick to eat, so I got to give it to him.
Boom. Solid. I got good depth.
And I'm not trying to be biased. I know I always go
No.
against Chippy, but I feel like there's just a lot of like,
The Keg was just an atrocious first overall pick.
no.
All right. Okay. Let us know in the comments.
The Keg was no one's
Well,
going.
let
No
us
one
kn-
even goes to
let
the
us
Keg.
know.
No one even goes to the Keg.
Oh my God.
Boston Pizza is like number one over the Keg. The Keg atrocious.
I would put Boston Pizza as more common than the keg, but the keg is better.
Red Lobster, like
Because not everyone can go to the
I'd
keg
say
all the
my
time.
menu was so deep.
I'd say Red
You have
Lobster.
sushi. You
Keg.
didn't have
Yeah.
sushi on there. I mean, it's just.
Hey, they got sushi at Mandarin.
No,
Come on,
they don't.
come on now.
No, they don't.
Red Lobster cheddar biscuits. Yes, those are so
Oh,
good. Dustin,
delish.
in
Yeah,
the chat there.
All right,
Hayden really knows my list was way more litty.
let's keep it going with some fun, some more
You had
fun games.
A game?
I got a little quiz time.
Yeah, Dusty
All right.
All Star, Keg L.
So the NHL puck personality on YouTube there, they were asking the NHL players, what is your favorite road rink to play at?
Mm.
You know, besides obviously your home rink, you're on the road.
Let me guess. Vegas.
Oh, okay, so I wanted to get it from you guys. What rinks do you think made the list? And there's only let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's about six rinks that made it.
Right.
So
Rigo, I was zoned
See,
out.
I don't know the names of all the arenas.
I
though.
was zoned out completely.
Chappie, you don't have to just give me the teams.
I'll give you.
Basically, the NHL personalities, they asked the players, the NHL players, what's your favorite road rink?
Oh.
So say Poppy, right? Where do you like to play besides Toronto,
Okay.
right?
Can I go?
Yeah, there were only 16. There was only 6 rinks that sort of got mentioned multiple times by the players. Which rinks do you think bring it? What are the best? And I'm just going to go ahead and say this. These are the ones that they picked as the best rink to play at, an away team.
Mm-hmm.
These are definitely. We're essentially asking which team has the best fan base.
Right.
MSG.
Right. You're not going to some place and it's like boring and saying, yeah, I love playing there because it's so quiet.
Do you want? Hey Chippy, do you want to work together on this?
Yeah,
See if
you
we
guys
can
work
get all
together.
6?
Let's do a team.
So I think for sure Vegas is one
Okay.
Yeah, I'd say
because
Vegas.
the rink is always buzzing and the vibes when they go to the rink and like after the games, before the games, they're in Vegas, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
So that's got to be one.
And we have 32 to pick from. I want to see how many you get. We're gonna go with 6. Vegas, I think, is a great pick, and they're a new team, so that's like props to them for
Mhm.
bringing that energy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's like a whole production. It's a whole show. So that's
Yeah.
an easy one.
Yep.
I
you
think
gotta go to New York.
MSG, yeah, because it's
The Big Apple.
well, it's
Yeah.
like from what I've heard, I want to go see a game there, but from what I've heard, the rink itself is just like so historic
Yep.
and very like well looked after, I guess.
It's
you could say,
and
so.
like you have proud, like Americans are proud.
My
I
dad
think
got
that's a
punched
thing.
at a New York Ranger.
Not
game
surprised.
versus- he was wearing a Montreal Canadiens jersey because
Yep.
it was his buddy's like birthday. They were watching Montreal versus, so he puts a Montreal jersey on.
yeah.
Big
He
mistake.
gets punched in. It gets punched in the, like the MSG. So he's
Oh
like,
my
I'm never
gosh.
going back there.
I
Yep.
mean, but it's as the players, right? They're not
Yeah,
getting punched by a fan.
So it's like you hear about like
Ty Domi.
loudmouth Americans. New York has a reputation for like
Yeah.
being loud, and so it's like you go to that rink, you expect that energy. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing. Like it's you love to see it.
Yeah.
You love proud fans, right?
I think, I mean, Chippy, you can sign off on this, but I think that just for the reasons outside of the rink and the vibes of being in this state would be
Tampa,
LA
LA,
Oh,
LA.
okay.
Yeah.
because there's
Yes.
like all the celebs, they like to come watch the games. And LA has always had like a
LA.
pretty solid fan base. They always fill up the rink
Okay,
LA.
and it's nice weather.
right.
So that's got to be one, I think.
And sorry, I just counted on my list. There's actually 8 teams.
Oh,
So I'll give you guys a little bit more work.
oh man.
Okay, well,
Okay.
Well, it's Tampa, Tampa Bay.
Tampa for sure because they have the energy for the crowd and the
it's-
nice weather.
And it's hot.
Yeah.
Fair.
Who else? Maybe
Carolina. That ranks.
no.
The
no. But the
Caniacs?
players
Yeah,
saying
the
that.
Caniacs.
I think Nashville is over Carolina. Carolina might be a
Mm,
fringe on the 8.
No, Carolina's there.
I like-
I don't think there's a state. I don't think there's a team that's more passionate than Carolina Hurricanes.
The Caniacs, and
I was there.
They had
60,000 they sold out.
the storm surge or whatever they had.
Yeah. No.
Okay, how many players
Canes
from
are
the
there
East
for
versus
sure.
West did they ask in the puck
Oh,
personality?
that's tough. I didn't do the stats here.
Like, how many players did they ask?
It seemed like there was about like 12. Like it wasn't a huge draw. And,
Because if it's a lot of Western teams, that I can see them saying like Vancouver or something,
Right,
like,
right.
because there's like the buzz and energy there as well.
I do like Nashville because myself, I saw, especially in the playoffs, like Nashville, they have the tailgating, right?
Yeah.
They have the weather that you can get fired up before the game and then go to the game, and they have the best like taunts. They taunt the
The
goalies.
crowd's always
I've
buzzing.
been on.
Yeah.
I've skated on the Nashville ice. Not gonna
Oh,
lie to
no
you.
big deal.
No
Yeah.
big deal.
No,
Um,
Nate and I went to a game
We
there.
stood on the ice.
That's true. That's true. Forgot about that.
Yeah.
Not a big deal.
So what do we got? We got 5 more.
Yeah, you got Vegas, MSG, Tampa, Nashville, LA, and Carolina.
I'm on the fence about Carolina, but I'll let
I'm
Chippy
loving the chat. From the chat here, oh, we got a list from Joe. We got Rangers, Vegas, Kings, Avs, Flyers, Blackhawks. I was thinking Kings too. Oilers, Nashville, Detroit. So there's some good ones here. You guys might be surprised by a few of the picks.
Yeah, I think
Keep it going.
Well, in terms of energy, it's like Edmonton would just be in terms of like the.
I don't think
anyone
players
would
like
say
going
that.
there though.
That's what
I'm gonna give you a hint.
Montreal.
There was one
Montreal,
Canadian
Bell
team on
Center.
this list.
Yeah,
Bell Center.
definitely Montreal because of the history there. Like every player respects the history of the NHL, and they'll throw that on the list just because they're like, yeah, well, Montreal is one of the most like historic teams in the league. So
Yeah, I just snagged that.
So definitely that. We got what, 4 more, Chippy? Let's pick a Western one because I think there's got to be another Western one out there. Like we could go Minnesota because it's like the hockey city, and like
Minnesota, yeah.
they're always buzzing.
It is called the state of hockey.
Yeah. So like I feel like players are gonna say that because there's quite a lot of players that know that Minnesota is like a hockey.
It's also cool to hear why they chose like that.
The
rank.
reasonings?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the reasonings, right?
Okay, let's go. We got to go. I think Detroit maybe
No.
or Chicago. I think Chicago over Detroit.
Chicago.
It's called the Madhouse on. Was it the Madhouse? I'm blanking on it.
Gotta go Chicago.
Chicago, yeah.
Chicago.
The Madhouse.
Chicago.
Mhm.
All right, we'll go Chicago.
I wonder if maybe the Islanders, like as like a sleeper pick, because like Islanders fans like are just like ruthless. So it's like they some guys might feed off that energy, you know, like the rink's always buzzing. But JT doesn't like playing there anymore, probably.
The Madhouse on Madison. That's what it was. I had to look it up.
Right.
Dusty All-Star saying, not Winnipeg. Tell you that. I live 2 blocks from the arena. Big meh. But the thing is, like, outside the rink, it's Winnipeg. Who does anything outside in Winnipeg? It's always -40 there. It's
Yeah.
so freaking cold in Winnipeg. Maybe they get inside and they're like, oh, warmth, and they go off.
Right.
Boston.
I think
Boston.
Ooh. Fair.
Boston could be one. Definitely San Jose or Anaheim is on the list.
Really?
Anaheim.
As far as crowd energy going?
Well, that's not what they're asking. They're asking what away barns do you like to play at the most?
Oh, okay, I say, but that's like the barn, not location, right? Because I would say, yeah, if they want to go to the beach after or go golfing after or something.
Well,
that's
I'm
great.
taking everything into
No,
account.
it's just like
They specifically ask which arena has the best energy.
no. It was more like what's the best road rink to play at, and all of the feedback from the players was about the crowd. It wasn't really about like the location or anything.
Oh, okay.
So
Well,
then
Boston.
We're going Boston.
Yeah,
Madhouse
Boston-
on Madison. Or go
Boston for
okay.
sure. Then, yeah, Boston is a definite one because they're always loud.
All right. So I'll go down your guys' list. You had Vegas, MSG, so New York, Tampa, Nashville, Minnesota, Chicago, and then a few other ones you threw in there: Carolina, Montreal, Boston, LA. I think those are all great picks.
Okay, well, Vancouver
So
have on there.
I didn't put Vancouver down.
Okay, so Vancouver.
Oh, I throw Vancouver in
No,
too. You
Vancouver's
know what?
not there.
You kind of have to go with the teams that are good, right? Either a really good team or a team that has like just crazy fans.
And Colorado is going to be one too.
So, shocker, no one picked Toronto because it's a bunch of corporate suits just looking at their
Yes.
Blackberries. I remember when Blackberries were a thing, and everyone. I went to a Leafs game with my dad.
They
I'm
might
like
just
15.
throw Toronto in there just because it's TV.
No, nobody threw Toronto in.
Yeah.
Nobody.
Yeah.
So the first one on the list was Bridgestone Arena, Nashville. Suzuki, Hurdle, a few other players said Bridgestone Arena, and like they bring that.
I definitely knew
energy.
Nashville was one.
Yeah, the taunts. This is a great one. The Rangers, MSG. Matt Tkachuk said that his dad, who also played, Keith Tkachuk, said, "You know, you made it when you play MSG."
Right.
Right. So his like that energy has always been there. The New York crowd has always been like having that effect on players. Like it's just a different.
It's a culture thing too.
Yeah.
Like it's in freaking TV shows from the 90s.
Yes.
People going to and like Lundqvist only just retired like 2 years ago, and he's still in those videos.
Yeah. True. That's true. Eh?
Yeah.
This one surprised me quite a bit. Seattle. And
That's interesting.
so
yeah.
Quinn Hughes, Dallin,
I feel
and
like
Jake Ottinger.
I
all
feel like
said
a little
Seattle.
bit of them are like, well, it's a new arena. The vibes, they're buzzing, right? Like,
So Quinn Hughes, he played, I guess, the game when Seattle scored their first goal, and he said it was nuts. Like the fans were going crazy. They cheered for like 10 minutes straight. They didn't even drop the puck. Like we had to wait like 10 minutes for the crowd to stop cheering, and then they dropped the puck. Just
why would they wait?
well, I don't know. That's just like the crowd was going nuts. I said, hey,
Right.
let's let them have this moment.
That's
Maybe
funny.
he's exaggerating a bit, but I thought that was kind of cool.
Right.
But yeah, a few players said Seattle has a great crowd, and you love to see that from a new team. Another surprise here is Winnipeg. So Anders Lee, Mark.
I mean, in the playoffs, I could see it. The whiteout.
Yes,
That's the only time that it's like, yeah, that could make their list.
100%. That's what they're talking about.
So you should have told me that the guys that were answering the questions were in the playoffs.
They're NHL players. they're just whatever effect, right? I'm not saying regular season only.
Right.
It's just what did the NHL players say, and it's like these are guys that experience that. And I saw the videos of the whiteout.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. Every single.
It was on my
person-
radar, but I was thinking like just from like day-to-day games,
right,
not
right.
really playoffs only. But
But yeah, it's pretty cool to see that whiteout. And it's funny how Marc-Andre Fleury, he's in his French accent. He's like, is a bunch of white guys cheering. It's like, he means like people dressed in white, but he's like
Yeah.
a bunch of white guys.
oh man,
So Chicago made the list. Max Domi, Huberdeau.
we're doing pretty good so far. Too.
Truba, yeah, said the Madhouse on Madison.
Mhm.
Saw a game there. It was pretty intense. Tampa also made the list. The best feedback. So they're asking Cale Makar.
Right,
He smiles, right? A little smirk. He's like, "Well, I kind of like playing in Tampa now
because he
because
won.
they won the cup there."
Yeah.
Loved that.
Right.
Larkin also said Tampa, and then Minnesota. So Rinsky, and then I guess that was Makar's real answer.
Right.
He says, "Yeah,
So the only one we're wrong so far is Winnipeg that we didn't have.
yeah, you didn't take Winnipeg.
So Carolina was the one we took instead of Winnipeg.
Wait, you didn't take Seattle."
Okay, Seattle. Yeah.
Yeah, and you didn't take Winnipeg.
He's up on that Carolina pick. Carolina
And
pick was a great pick. I can't believe these crazy hockey players weren't picking Carolina.
the last one was Vegas. Draisaitl and Heischer
Right.
picked Vegas.
So who else
And
did we pick that was? So who instead of Seattle did we need to pick?
You guys had L.A., Carolina,
Oh,
Montreal,
LA was-
Boston, and Vancouver. None of those ones made the list.
Right.
But I mean, I think those are all
That
fair
Vancouver
picks.
pick was just atrocious.
I think the Puck Daddies need to make a trip to all the
Joking.
top
Yeah,
arenas.
I think we got to do like a road trip here.
Yeah.
Maybe like we go to each of these rinks and then we rate them.
Yeah, we could do
Rating
that.
Rank review, but actually rank the
Yes.
top end ranks. Yeah.
Ranking every team's crowd.
In
Like,
terms of
then we can do
ice.
it. Then we can keep our.
Ice.
Hey, we do it. We keep our thoughts to ourselves. Then we do a draft.
ooh. No, I'd say like we just do a series on,
that
on
would
the
be
YouTube
fun.
channel, eh?
We gotta
on
get on
TikTok.
we gotta get on the ice and rank.
Yeah,
Like,
oh,
the
yeah,
best- Who's
yeah.
got the best ice?
We'll
Like
bring our blades.
Mm.
Yeah, ranking every team's fan base. Like which NHL team has the best fan base?
I like that.
That would be fun.
That would be fun. Yeah.
Okay? NHL, look us up, bud.
Yeah.
Dusty, who said that he lived a couple blocks from the Winnipeg Arena, he says, "I'm surprised even with the whiteout
That they
I
made
know.
the list.
Yeah,
Yeah. All right. Well, that was fun.
that's cool. Yeah, I like that. What else we got? I think we're gonna wrap it up there.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
we talked about everything. We're just gonna go and sulk for a little bit about.
Yeah, we're gonna cry about the Leafs not making it.
You know what though? I'm actually excited for just kind of seeing how everything unfolds throughout the offseason.
Would you be okay
Like
if
I
no
want to
changes
see
were made?
No,
Okay.
I'm excited to see change, and if there's not, then God help us.
Yeah, like I need to see change.
Here's the thing: is every year they say that like things need to change. You can't keep doing the same thing with the same players and expect different results, right?
I think now that they got out of the first round and then still proved that those bad demons reared their head again, like those bad habits.
Yep.
Like you can't even make the excuse now that there doesn't need to be change. You know, like
Yes.
clearly Matthews and Marner together isn't working in the playoffs.
Yes. So what I was hoping is, a few years ago, first round bump every year, right? I'm just hoping, okay, they don't have to change anything. We got great players, good core. They're just not used to the playoffs. Next year they're going to do good, right? And then the Raptors won.
You
like,
were on the there's always next year crew, right?
Well, it's like it's the same crew, but with a little more experience, and like they know, oh, Nasty Nyes is coming up though, eh?
Yeah.
So maybe, right?
Well,
that's
Nyes
something.
Matthews
What-
could be a good line.
What about Matt Murray, right? Like he didn't play. He was supposed to be our
Oh,
savior.
Matt Murray's probably not even going to play a single game next year.
Okay, you think he's just done for?
Yeah, he's going to be what do they call it? Robidas Island.
Okay,
Ireland, that was hilarious.
okay.
Loophole.
Or if they're lucky, they'll trade him. They'll put him on
Let's bring
LTIR and
back
trade him to
Joffrey.
Arizona.
Let's bring back Joffrey.
Oh,
Oh
yeah,
my
I get Lupo back in the mix, eh? So you'd be upset if nothing changes. You want something to happen.
Yes.
I feel like we've waited 3 years. There's been no real big like the core four is all there.
It just
I
can't
never
work with
wanna
so
hear
much money
core four
dedicated.
again.
Yeah, I don't want
I
to
never
hear
want to hear the term
the
core
quartet.
four.
The quartet.
The
They're not
core
going to be able to get
four.
rid of JT, but
Yeah, they will.
someone's going to have to. No, they're not. Unless they somehow trade like Marner and JT together for like a huge thing or something.
I think like I wouldn't mind if JT left because or like
No, I wouldn't mind either. I'm just saying good luck. Like no one wants that contract.
yeah.
And like you almost have to just ride it out and hope that he can keep producing a point per game.
Fair. They can retain. They got the cash.
We'll retain 6.
Joe Soul here says, I got a bad feeling Panthers fan will be the last for fan base.
Yeah, I went to a Panthers game and it was
It's a Leafs game. It's a Leafs game.
quiet. Yeah, it's a
Yeah,
Leafs
we went
game.
Leafs versus Panthers. Half of it is Leafs fans.
Yeah.
Like every game is an away game for the Panthers. I could only imagine. And every game for the Leafs is a home game. Like every Leafs
Yes.
game I've gone on the road, tons of Leafs fans in there. But actually, I looked this up for the teams that are still left in the playoffs.
Yeah.
The ranking of the fan base, like which team has the largest fan base, which team has the smallest. Seattle Kraken, smallest fan base.
I mean, they're new, so
They're new. I think they're growing. They're going to grow really quick.
yes. Now that same with like Vegas, right? Like they're an
Seems
expansion
like,
team,
oh,
so
it
they
seems
grow
like-
really quick.
yeah.
But they were still in the mix for the playoffs, which is interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Second worst or lowest fan base, Florida Panthers.
Yeah.
In the playoffs, still, right?
Yeah.
Next, Carolina Hurricanes.
The bottom three are three of
the
the
Hurricanes, which is
Oh, that's false.
it's surprising.
I've seen it.
No,
I've seen
it's
it.
it's not about the passion. It's about the size
Yeah,
and the viewership, the TV
That's
ratings.
false.
yeah. I don't know. Maybe Carolina is just in an area where not a lot.
No
'cause
chance.
You can't say we're not saying that Carolina fans aren't good fans. We're just
No.
saying that the size and the viewership that they bring isn't as much as the other teams.
maybe they just don't have a big
They
surrounding
sold out a
area.
60.
supporting it.
The biggest hockey game ever. They sold out. The most
doesn't
amount
matter.
of people. It
That-
does matter.
I'm just
It does
looking at
matter.
some random
There's
number
no-
of fans.
Yeah, this is some random ass fact check. This stadium maps. Get that off my screen. Carolina at
And then
30.
Arizona
That's so
Coyotes.
wrong.
Arizona Coyotes is
Is
next.
ahead of Carolina. You're-
Arizona's bigger,
you're
and they're
crazy.
playing in a university.
Arizona Coyotes couldn't even sell out a university college game. And they're going to say that that Hurricanes, Hurricanes are top 10, top 5 in the league. for all the
Arizona
fan base.
fans are very loyal. I will say, if you're an Arizona fan, you're top dog because they've been so mismanaged. And if you're still a fan of Arizona, then kudos to you. You know,
Yeah, you enjoy the hurt.
Carolina's got
Arizona fans, we feel you. Like it's just a different kind of pain.
Yeah. Well, you know, the Leafs had this like weird stretch for the longest time where they would never make the playoffs, but they would never finish poorly enough to get a good draft pick.
Yeah, it was
they
like
got stuck in
so-
the middle
yeah.
for like a good 10 years. They had a decade, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're just middle.
So I don't know. There's a few teams maybe that are stuck in that. Like they can't. They don't make the playoffs.
Break through the next level.
Yeah, they're just like a mediocre team cheering for mediocrity. Anyways, yeah, let's wrap the pod up there. Thanks a lot for everyone who joined us on the live. Always love seeing your comments. Big thanks to everyone who's supporting the pod, supporting the Puck Daddy.
If you want to get access to the if you guys were here for the whole live, that's great.
Love it.
If you want to get access to the podcast a day early, if you aren't available during the live, hit that membership thing and you can get access to it a day early, which is supports the pod. So thanks for listening.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate all you beauties. We'll
Puck
see you guys
Daddies
next week.
out.
Yeah.
Gonna
Stay
change the
positive.
world with my hockey stick. Gonna make a real difference. Feed the poor and heal the sick.